Hello, I'm Mike Jones, and I would like to introduce you to myself. Um, I am a FedEx Ground contractor, and I'm also a Napa Auto Parts dealer. I've got into the FedEx part first, and I'll tell you about it. I've been in the trucking business since 1967. I started as a teenager uh, when I was still in high school, and I wanted to make some extra money. So I was recruited by Carolina Freight with some other guys that were on the football team to help load freight and unload freight in the afternoon. So that's what I did. After I got off football practice, I started unloading freight, and that carried on through the year and then through the summer, and had a good summer job by doing that. And I continued on doing that, and then I learned to be a yard switcher at Carolina Freight. So I learned to back the trucks into the dock, which was a very demanding job. It took some skill to learn how to back all the units in between the other trailers, and I got pretty proficient with that. And I was hired as a regular employee. So right out of high school, uh, I was hired as a regular employee with excuse me, sorry, Carolina Freight, with Carolina Freight, and I was given a position as a yard switcher, and I did that for a number of years, and then in 1972, not yeah 72, uh, when I turned 21, I was able to get my driver's license, my chauffeur's license, and I started driving a truck then on the side. I had my regular job as a yard switcher, and then I continued on as a extra local driver at Carolina Freight. And I did that a number of years. I did that until 1980 with Carolina Freight. And I decided at that time I wanted to get out of the trucking business. And I went over into some more adventures. You might say I did some other things in business that I wanted to try. And during that time, like I said, I was out of the trucking business for about 6 or 7 years. And because I was out, I got to try a lot of diverse things, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being able to have some time away from the trucking business, but I realized the trucking business, it's what I was well versed in and what I grew up in. My dad was a trucker at Carolina Freight for 38 years, so I knew the trucking business pretty good. So I had an opportunity in 1987 to get back in the trucking business with a new company called RPS, and it was a division of Roadway, and it was called Roadway Package System. They were just starting up. They'd started up in '85, so it was a relatively new company, and they were trying to compete with UPS, and they were called RPS. And of course, you see the similarities in the name. So I got on with them, and initially I had to get on as a package delivery guy. So I did that for out of Hickory, North Carolina. I did that for about 6 months, and they had an opportunity for a linehaul contractor, and I signed on as a contractor initially uh, because everything was independent. I mean, we weren't employees; we were contractors. So I took the chance at being a line haul contractor with them out of Hickory. And I was the very first line haul contractor out of Hickory, North Carolina, back in 1987. And when I did that, it opened up some great opportunities for me. And we worked under the umbrella of RPS, I think, until it was sometime in the 90s, and I'll have to check my records on that. I'm not certain, but I believe it was around 98, 97, 98. I can't remember exactly. Maybe 96. That it was uh, RPS was bought out. Well, they had changed a couple things internally. They had broken it away from Roadway, and they made it its own entity. And they had Spartan Express and Roadway Package System and Roberts Express and a custom critical unit that they had, everything. But they initially moved it over into a company called Caliper. And that company was then bought by FedEx. And FedEx kept us as RPS for a small amount of time. And then they saw the need to change the name, and they changed the name of it from RPS to FedEx Ground. And I have been with them, under the FedEx banner ever since. And it's been a good company for me. It's been a good company for me, and I have a lot of tales to tell, a lot of issues that have happened over the years, mostly for the good. I've grown my company up to a pretty good size right now, and we have entities in Charlotte and Savannah, Georgia, and I have some partners that are coming in too, and we also have some things in other locations too. I used to also be in Greensboro, North Carolina. I sold off all of my runs in Greensboro about a year and a half ago, back in I guess 2016 or 2017. I'd have to check my records, but we sold off all the Greensboro runs that we had, and that's the beauty of it. And as a contractor, I'm able to sell my routes. So I sold 6 routes that I had there, and we primarily have just the ones in Savannah, Georgia, and Charlotte, North Carolina right now. But if you'd like to know more about me and what I've done over the years, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow my trucking channel, so please subscribe, and I'll catch you later, and maybe we'll update this again.